Hi students, I'm Mrs. Giroux and I am just doing a quick little video overview of the fine arts class in case you're new and you're just getting started. So this is our homepage and do you know how to get here? So if you can get into this window right here, what you do is you go into your classes tab and this is where you'd find your fine arts class. And then this is where you go to see what classes are scheduled for you every day, and you click on these links to get into the classroom. So make sure that you are looking at your schedule. Oh wait, actually here they are. So like today I had a sack lunch critique and I needed to get rid of that, but I already did. I had a blog spot and I had an art and invention room. And students, first of all, always want to know, are all these classes required for you? And the answer is no. I'm teaching asynchronous fine art, which means that we don't have any live classes, which means that when you come to my class to meet with me, you're there voluntarily to get help from me. You might have some questions, or maybe you just feel like socializing and mingling, or yeah, I can't think of anything right now. But the other thing about coming to meet me for live classes is please don't ask me if there's going to be an exit ticket, because there won't. This is an asynchronous class. It's not a live class. So we don't have exit tickets. All of the material is in your content. So come and meet me as much as you need to. Here's your fine arts class. You're just going to go there and you'll notice that I have class announcements here, okay? You'll want to come and make sure that you're checking them. But the best thing to do is actually to set yourself up by clicking on this drop-down box by your name and going into notifications. Set up your school email and your phone number so that you can receive email and text messages. So whenever a teacher sends an announcement, you get it right away. It's the only way we can really like quickly let you know something like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be here today. I'm sick. There won't be any class. It's very common for students to not read the announcements because they don't have that notification system set up. And you need to check your emails too. Every day to see what teachers are trying to communicate to you. So make sure that you're using your email over here, okay? If you need to create a message, use this. Something tricky about me is when you go into my content and you look at my contact information, you'll notice that my email is my maiden name. So look for Rachel Hart when you go to email me, not Rachel Giroux. Unfortunately, if they try to change over my email, I'll lose everything that I have saved in my Outlook box, and that wouldn't be fun. And then this has my schedule overall of when I'm in the classroom. Are you required to come to class? No. I have a guideline here that if you have an A or a B, attendance isn't required. If you have a C or lower, it is required. And what I mean is, check in with me once a week if you're struggling. Come and ask me questions. Is there going to be an exit ticket? No. It's an asynchronous class, okay? You're just there to get help. If you're failing or falling behind, I might actually email you and let you know that you are required to come and meet with me on Monday from 3 to 4 o'clock because you kind of blew your chance to self-manage, you know what I mean? And so you need to come in and get some help. So that's kind of how I operate. So I ask you to start at the very beginning of the class here. So you're going to start with your week 1, and everything is dated. So based on whatever day it is that you're getting started, you kind of know where we're at. We've done weeks 1, 2, and 3. So don't skip around. Just start at the beginning. The first thing you need to do is complete these mandatory orientation tasks, okay? So you'll notice when I click on a folder, in this case, there are 3 tasks I want you to do. So although there is, yes, an overview here that kind of shows you all of the tasks, it's best to click on each one at a time. You'll notice that there are some instructions here that tell you what to do. I've also got a video that I made of me reading the syllabus to you. This is very important. You need to do this at the beginning of every class. You need to find out what it is that your teacher's policies are, what the teacher wants you to know. And then I also have a quiz that you need to take. That's worth big points. Don't skip that. These check marks right here indicate that I have actually done these activities. This is how you can monitor whether or not your student or yourself are getting things done. There'd be a little round circle here if this hadn't been completed. Okay, and then you'll just kind of scroll down and go to the orientation task 2. And this is a task where I just ask you to provide a phone number to me where we can text. And I ask you to send me a text message. That just opens up the communication. I want you to know that I have an open door policy. You're always welcome to send me a text message and ask a question. If I'm not available, you won't hear back from me right away, but if I just happen to be available, you might hear back right away, which is great. My daughter uses my phone quite a bit, so sometimes she gets the text messages before I do. And so if there's ever a time when you're not hearing back from me, she might have my phone. I might not know that there's a text message coming through, and she might have like kind of X'd it out or something. So text me back if you don't hear back from me, okay? I'm not being rude, I promise. Then it wants you to complete a survey. All of this stuff is pretty quick. I explained the survey. I'm actually very thorough in this orientation for you. And then in that week 1 folder, it says second, complete the week 1 lesson 1, Introduction to Fine Arts A. So every week you will have a lesson, okay? And in most weeks you'll have a test with the lesson. If I start to fall behind, I might not have time to make the test. That's okay. That just means less work for you, right? But I still want you to do the lesson. So it says open the week 1 lesson and follow the directions and take the week 1 test. Be thorough. Read what I say. I'm trying to immerse you in my world of art, okay? So when you come to art class, meaning when you come into this content and you sit down to do this, clear some space for this process so that you can immerse yourself in the culture of art and put your mind frame into that space. Start thinking like an artist, okay? Don't just come in here and be like, oh, what do I get? I'm not going to watch any of those videos. I'm just going to take this test. Don't be like that, okay? Now, the other thing about this is really cool is when I have tests, they go in, they usually, unless they're critique quizzes might not, but my tests and my lessons go in the order of the lesson. So if you right click on the test and you open it in a new window, you can actually kind of shift these around a little bit. So you've got the test window open in one side, and you've got these awesome videos that you're going to watch. And sometimes it'll actually be, something you have to read. I have to tell you that with art, I'm a big fan of being able to see the art.
Picasso once said this. He said that all children are...
So anyway, you start at the beginning and you would open up your test. I'm not going to open it here. Well, maybe I could. It's not going to kill me, right? I could open it. That's what I'm going to ask you to do, right? So here we go. We have the first question, and it says, what good is art? According to this video, art allows us to express something that we can't put into words, true or false. Well, I don't know. Let's watch this video and find out.
Holistic right-brained thinking, creative thinking, visual thinking. This is the language of genius, the language of invention, the language of human progress. Without the original creative insight, literally nothing would be worth doing. It is creative thinking that defines and gives purpose to our day-to-day activities. Periodically, throughout my life, when somebody hears that I was an art major, I'd get looks that vary between sympathy and disdain. You want fries with that? Behind these expressions is an implied question. What good is art anyway? My answer to that question is another question. What good is life? All the small questions are easy to answer. What good is a car? A car lets you travel longer distances quicker than on foot. It offers more convenience and spontaneity than public transportation. It takes you to the grocery store to get food, which you need to live. But why would you want to live? Tougher. The meaning of life and the meaning of art are more difficult to define because they're less concrete and they're larger in scale. All of the practical, easy-to-answer questions are only easy to answer because they work in service of the more difficult questions. Logical thinking and creative thinking work together. They serve as checks and balances for each other. Focusing on the ordinary tasks is how things get done. Without a reference point, however, it's easy for logical thinking to become less logical over time. Okay, working in middle management for a company that makes plastic stands for desk calendars puts food on the table for your family. But ultimately, it's not the plastic or the calendar or the desk or the food that's important. When you put things in perspective, these things are only remotely important if they're used in service of the people you care about and the experiences you share. You're born, you have experiences, and you die. There's no escaping this. If I asked people on the street what is the meaning of life, it's possible that no two would give me the same answer. Yet, clearly, for most of us, life does have meaning. So, how can we have so many conflicting ideas about life? Beyond the individual labels and philosophies, this is the ultimate shared experience. So why do we lose sight of this and waste time killing each other over the specifics? Maybe what we share on the deepest level is more difficult to put into words. So, how can we express something that we can't put into words? Successful art uses the visual language to express something universal, even when dealing with specifics. It helps us to see the big picture.
Okay, so did it answer the question? It says, according to the video, art allows us to express something that we can't put into words. Is that true? Yes, that's what the video was about. According to this video, successful art uses a universal language to help us to see the big picture. Yes. Okay. So do you see how that works? And then it's the next video called What is Art? It says, according to this video, art is an idea. That's it. So what you would do, oops, that happens sometimes because I'm a teacher and things are a little different. So the next thing you would do is click on this next video and you would continue taking the test. If you notice the question right away, you can pause the video and then answer it and then read the next question and then watch the video until you see it and then continue like that. So you can actually take these open book tests probably for most of your tests in any classes. So like if you are watching a Class Connect recording and you open up the test and or the assignment that you had to do for that, then you can be watching the recording, pausing it as you need to, and taking the test or doing the assignment while you have the lesson right there to refer to, okay? Now, some people might think this is cheating, and that might be true, but in the online school, we have different challenges. I mean, we actually have a lot coming at us at one time, and sometimes, you know, finding the answers is just as important a skill as memorizing a lot of information just short term for a test that you really aren't going to remember in the long term anyway, right? And we really are just more interested in getting the gist of things and having things sink in and allowing that to become a part of your worldview, your perspective, the lens that you see life through, okay? So that's why I think that for my class, it's okay to do the open book test because these questions are really just more like a study guide to make sure that you're paying attention and getting the gist. Okay, so the important concepts in this class that you learn about in your lessons, you're going to have an opportunity to practice in the assignment. So next, you would do the weekly assignment. And in this first week, what you're doing is you're creating an artist blog. And I know a lot of students in here have asked me, why do I have to do that? Can't I just do it on a Word document? Well, no, because if you're going to be an artist, you need to think like an artist and you need to think like, how is an artist going to be successful? You have to have an artist's image And you need to have a portfolio where you have all of your artwork in one space. And you need to be able to easily share that portfolio with potential employers and get your word out there. It's just like with any business that has a website, an artist has to have a presence. Now, some parents are concerned about the fact that this is a blog online, and I can appreciate that. There are settings where you can establish privacy if you're concerned that someone is going to have an opportunity to internet stalk. I get that. But things to do to be careful. Don't put your name on it. This is an artist's image. You can name it anything you like. Don't put a picture of your face on it. Don't tell them where you live. You don't have to include any of that personal information. You're just creating an artist image and you're posting your work. And maybe you're talking about artists that you like, or artworks, or deep thoughts that you've had, or sharing poetry and connecting it to a photograph that you may have taken, sharing some experiences, the processes that you go through when you're doing your art, what you're thinking about as you're doing these things. All of this is wonderful. And a lot of our students are very prolific with art, and they don't have a way to share that. And so this is a way for our students to share that with each other. In week 9, we'll do portfolio reviews. So students will be able to share their portfolios with the class and see what they've done for the entire block. The guideline that I recommend is that you post once a week, at least the assignment that you did. But if you want to post more, if you want to talk about more, I've already got students that are on their blogs on an almost daily basis posting sketches they've done or designs they've done, photographs they've taken, just general insights they've had, pictures of their pets. I've seen a lot of great stuff. It's been really fun. And then on Fridays, we have these sack lunch critiques, but I'm pretty sure I drafted this. How does my stack lunch critique keep getting open? Okay, so this is not week 1. It just didn't happen, and that's okay. But in week 3, we finally have a critique. So the Friday blog spot, that's optional. It's just an opportunity that I come to class and I'm there for students that have questions about how to make their blogs, or if they just want to come and hang out and do their weekly blog post in the presence of other students. Just an opportunity to socialize and be happy that it's the weekend. So you're not required to come to any of my classes, right? Because it's an asynchronous class. But I do give opportunities for students to get together or come and see me and ask questions. This is just another copy of my attendance when I'm in class and everything. So then the next week is, let's see, August 29th through September 2nd, and this goes along with the basic structure of the class. In week 2, you're going to have your lesson. But guess what the direction says? It says watch the videos below. It doesn't say take a test. Because in week 2, I was sick and I just couldn't take a test. But you're going to learn about the elements of art and the principles of design. And then you're going to apply what you learn from those 2 videos that you're going to heavily internalize. And you're going to do the week 2 assignment. And here is where the Dropbox is. Okay, so make sure that if I have links or videos or whatever, you're watching them, because I'm showing you how to do stuff. I'm not going to sit here and show you how to do it all right now because it'd take forever, but all those videos are there to answer your questions. So before you ask a question, just check to see if maybe I posted a link with a video that shows you how to do it already. These are Dropboxes. You click on that to get inside the Dropbox, and you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of it to upload your assignment. And you have to actually take pictures of your assignments and save them to your computer and give them a good name and upload pictures of your work. If I put videos, watch them. If I write read it, okay? Don't skip around. We did not have a critique that week, so I'm just going to go ahead and draft this. That's not going to show up on your page. And that Friday blog spot's done. So I'm just going to go ahead and add an end date to that. I'll just put, go. And the last thing on there that you don't really need to concern yourself with is the attendance that week, so we'll get rid of that for you. Now, there is this folder here that says set up notifications, and I would definitely do that. This is where I showed you in the beginning of this video how to set up so that you're getting announcements from your teachers right away. And then lastly, this is where we're at. We're in week 3 this week, and so Sunday is officially the last day of week 3. So you click on the week 3 lesson, and we basically are going to learn, make sure you read, but we're going to learn about the Stone Age, Mesopotamia, and ancient Egyptian art, and there's a test. So what do you do for that? You right click, right, and open in a new window when you go to take a test, right, and then take this content and squeeze it down so that you can do both at the same time, okay? So just kind of get into the habit of doing that for me, all right? Okay, and so then after you have internalized all of that and it's integrated into your soul, then you're going to go to the week 3 assignment. And in this assignment, I'm going to give you guys choices. So you can either do the Stone Age cave painting, you can do Mesopotamian art where you draw a ziggurat and use this lapis lazuli blue tiles in your design, or you can do some ancient Egyptian art. And all of these video links are how-tos, so you can just do these lessons that are taught in the videos to get a really exciting and fun piece of work. Or if you want to do something completely creative and from scratch, you can create your own Egyptian deity. And you'll learn about the characteristics of an Egyptian deity by watching these videos here. So if that's something that interests you, and then there's a little Q&A about the fact that maybe you don't have your artist kit yet. Yes, I know that you guys are waiting for your kits, but hopefully by the time we get back to week 5, you will have your paint kits and we can go ahead and do some fun painting. For now, if you need color or drawing, you're just using a pencil and eraser you have at home, please do not use lined paper. Get some paper that's just plain. It just totally, like, it's not aesthetic to do your artwork on lined paper. So please get some plain paper. It can just be copy paper out of the printer you might have at home, a sketchbook paper, whatever you have, okay? But try to do your art on plain paper. And if you have markers or crayons or colored pencils or pastels, or maybe you already have paint, ink pens, you know, go just have fun, explore. I'm not going to be nitpicky about any of that, but just, you know, make me a nice piece of work. Here's the rubric. Make sure that you're paying attention to how I score things, because I have a lot of students that don't pay any attention to how I grade it and how I score it, and they'll submit something that doesn't fulfill the rubric requirements, and that's when you don't get full credit. I don't look at it and go, oh, that's ugly, 40. No, that's not how it works, okay? So it's based on these characteristics here. So 50 points. I can tell exactly what period your artwork models. I can tell if it's from the Stone Age, Mesopotamia, or Egyptian art. Okay, that's worth a lot of points. So make sure you're watching those videos and paying attention. 20 points. I can tell that you took your time and didn't rush. Oh, I can tell when you're rushing. Yes, I can. Okay, and I'm not going to be afraid to tell you in the comments, this looks rushed. 20 points. You created a quality finished product. It's finished. It's not like some half-started mess. You actually finished it. It looks whole. It looks complete. There's harmony. There's balance. 10 points. You submitted a nice picture of your artwork, so you actually took the time to take a nice picture. You made sure the lighting in the room was bright enough that I could see it. That is named appropriately. You saved it to your computer and you named it and is ready to be shown in the critique. So I take all of the artwork that you submit and I copy paste it into a PowerPoint, and then we have a weekly critique. So you'll see that first critique this week, but you're not going to see it if you're just getting started. Wait until you get there. But this week we did have a critique, and for this class it says watch the video and take the quiz. So here's the video. You'll watch that video. Here's the quiz. And open the critique slideshow. So this slideshow is the same slideshow that is in the video. Okay, so you can look at that slideshow. You just right-click on it and open it in a new window. And then all of the artworks are numbered. You click here and just follow the directions. I'm not a student, so it doesn't look the same, but basically you're just going to write the number. So let's say I liked number 18, and then I would save it. And then in the next critique, I'll announce whoever wins. So that's pretty fun. All right. Well, the only thing I could say to you that's really important at this point is make sure that you're checking your grades. Learning coaches, this is how you can see whether or not your student is doing well. My grade book doesn't look like yours because I'm a teacher. But if you're a student, if you got comments, if you got points deducted, whatever you got on your assignments, it's going to show up here under grades. Okay? The other useful thing that I like to tell students about is the plan. So I'm not really crazy about this agenda view. If you've got it in agenda view, get it out of there. If you've got it in day view, that's better. But the week view is really nice because then you can see each one of the different colors represents a different class. You can see, and then you might have to go down. There could be things down here that are scheduled that aren't up there. But you can kind of get a bird's eye view for what's going on that week. Just be aware that not all teachers will be using the plan. If they're new, they probably don't know how to use it because it doesn't automatically set itself up. Teachers have to manually do it. And if they're a new teacher, they probably don't know how to do that yet. So keep an eye in this drop-down box. I have a lot of classes, but you won't. But just make sure that if you've got a class up here that's not showing up down here, well, you're just going to have to manually go to that class and click on the content tab to figure out what's going on in that class, okay? Or you can go to the teacher's classroom and ask. Teachers love it when you come to class and ask questions. They really do. If you're in the plan, the cool thing about the plan is that you can actually click on it, and if you click more, it will take you right to the assignment. So here's the week 3 assignment, and this is for a digital arts class. Sweet. So in this digital arts class, it says that you've been hired to design a science textbook. How fun. How many of you guys want to be in that class? Woohoo. All right, well, sorry to get over into that digital arts class. I know this was supposed to be fine arts. But that is your basic overview. And man, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for. All right, have a good day. Salut.